Holy fucking shit. Howdy there, people of the internet. I don't even know how to say this, how to start this. Nintendo are madmen. They are remastering, remaking, HDifying, whatever you want to call it, my favorite video game of all time, Xenoblade Chronicles. No, the best JRPG ever made, holding myself to that, is being recreated on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I am... words cannot describe how elated, excited, nervous, I don't even know, too many emotions I am right now. In case you don't know, in case it wasn't brought up before, if you haven't been here for my content prior, Xenoblade Chronicles is my favorite video game ever. Just ever. It still is, will probably forever be. The game has such an immense hold on my psyche, my everything. I attribute so much of, I don't even know how to describe it, like the best storytelling I've experienced in my young adulthood. Just a lot of things about the game I attribute to having impacted my life and the things that I do and the things that I enjoy. It's really just an underrated gem that not a lot of people got to experience because it was a limited run release on the Nintendo Wii near the end of the Nintendo Wii's life. And okay, one, I've been telling my friends from day one, you know, they come up with this, they better play it. No one has any excuse not to play this game now. Play the game. Everyone, every person, if I've met you, if I've never met you, if I've never seen you before, this is your chance. You could play the greatest video game of all time right now. I'm not even gonna say anything beyond that. Okay, I realize I'm ranting a bit here, and the point of this video is for me to essentially just come out and say, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk about this. When this comes out, mark my words, I will have so much coverage. I've wanted to go back to Xenoblade 1 for so long, but I've never had an excuse to, you know, and it's always lingered in the back of my mind. This idea, I guess, this notion, and I've always been like, oh, well, you know, it'd be really cool if they brought Xenoblade 1 to Switch and made it HD, but it's never gonna happen. They're never gonna do that. Why would they do that? Xenoblade 2's out, it did well. They don't have to fucking go back. They did it. This was a dream scenario thing for me. I never thought it would happen. I thought it was a pipe dream to even assume that this would happen. So let's just talk about some glaring things first. I want to go over the trailer a little bit, just to go over things that I noticed, things that seem to jump out at me. But first, I never talked about Xenoblade 2 Torna. I'm going to talk about Torna. It was an expansion. I've had a good amount of things I've wanted to say about it, but I never really had the opportunity to. I want to talk about Xenoblade X. I liked that game, and I feel like that's another one that people just overlooked because it came out on the Wii U. Wii U was a big failure. I might even talk about the Xenogears and Xenosaga series. I've never played those games, so I'm interested to see what connections they hold, because I know that that there are some connections between, I think, Xenogears and Xenoblade 1, so it'll be interesting to go back and look at that. So that's on my plate for sure now. And first I want to say, so one of the things I was thinking constantly while I played Xenoblade 2 was, man, the character design of the game. You know, there are a lot of issues I've obviously had with Xenoblade 2, and I don't think my opinion has aged or changed that differently in the last 2 years. But one of the things I always thought, I never really mentioned it too much, but I think that the characters' designs, their faces, the way they look, they emote so potently. Their designs are so expressive. And that's one of the things I thought, man, that's something I'd love to see in the first game. You know, like, I could do without the huge huge titties flopping around everywhere. But, you know, the characters' faces making these expressions of anguish and happiness and anger, that would just translate so well with Xenoblade 1's voice acting and the tension in its plot and the environment and the worlds and the great characters. And it's happening. Like, this is based on my assumption, but looks like it's running on the engine that Xenoblade 2 was running on, and that game looked really good. And this looks pretty good so far too. This looks gorgeous, actually, I should say, specifically. And I like that specifically because I thought that's kind of something that Xenoblade 1 lacked, was because of the limitations of the Wii, the hardware limitations of it. You kind of had really stiff-looking characters, really stiff-looking animations. The faces were flat and kind of lifeless, and it didn't really match the emotional tension of the story. I mean, it was understandable. I'm someone who grew up with, like, Final Fantasy games, like early PS, like, you know, Final Fantasy X didn't really have the greatest faces of all time. Kingdom Hearts really didn't have the greatest faces of all time, the first games. But, you know, seeing that animation come to life, oh, sorry, not animation, that expression that's in the characters' voices and in the story itself come to life through the animation, it's going to be so great. Though maybe I'm jumping a little bit ahead of myself in this. Let's just look at the trailer. Let's just look. So it opens up, and I knew it was Xenoblade instantly because I heard that piano music. The first few notes you hear when you boot up Xenoblade, oh my god! And then look at it, it's beautiful. So, oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm recording this like right after the direct, so these are all my first genuine reactions here. This is the foot of the Mechonis, right? No, this is the beach after you beat Metal Face. This is where everyone lands, where Shulk lands, and you know, Shulk, Fiora, kiss. Oh, spoilers! Don't. I'm gonna put a spoiler warning at the beginning of the video. This is the Mechonis Beach. Shulk and Fiora do the kiss thing, and I think this is on the foot of the Mechonis, and it looks so great. This looks absolutely fantastic. This is the beach place before you enter the land of the High Entia. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but I remember this area. This is like the first place that you walk into before you go into their big holy temple city place and you meet Melia. Oh my god. This is Gower Plain. Oh my god, Gower Plain looks so dope! Oh my god, look at look at the fucking Mechonis. Look at all badass in the background. You got fucking Gower Plain. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna get ahead of myself here if I talk about it too much. And this is the intro scene with Shulk waking up and the dragon flies by his head. Okay. Here's my first thing. My very first thing I have to say about this. I am so fucking glad. I am the happiest motherfucker on the planet that they did not use that shitty looking ass character model of Shulk in Xenoblade 2. Shulk looked like a fucking Ken doll left out in the sun for too long. That man did not look like he was having a good time in Xenoblade 2. It looked kind of gross, I'm not gonna lie. And it's not that the designs of the characters in that game were bad or that the game's art style was bad. It's just it looked like they rushed Shulk. Like his eyes looked all beady and his face looked all squishy. He just didn't look like Shulk. I don't know, it was weird. Like when I think of Shulk, you know, done right, I think of Smash Bros. Shulk, for example. Smash Bros. Shulk, they nailed it with him in that game. And you know, concept art Shulk is great too. And this Shulk, I love the way Shulk looks here. I am, oh my god, dude. Oh yes. Okay, okay. I'm having an orgasm right now. And this, this is new. Now that's Alvis. That's Alvis for sure. I know that's Alvis, but this is new. I'm thinking maybe they're gonna add like contextual scenes, like, because they're not just. I want this to be a fully faithful recreation of Xenoblade, but you know, if they add things onto it that make it better, I would be so down for that. And this seems like a new scene with Alvis, where you know it kind of gives you context behind maybe how Shulk gets his powers, or you know, Alvis as a character, to kind of give a bit of foreshadowing to that, because it did seem a little out of left field that, you know, oh yeah, Alvis, I'm actually, you know, this AI program by the... In any case, the fact that they're making these things contextual, and they might be adding in new story scenes, giving us background. Maybe Shulk will get some new flashback scenes, or maybe he'll have these dream sequences with Alvis. That'd be cool. But I don't remember this ever being in Xenoblade. Maybe my memory is wrong. It's been a little while since I played it. But it's obvious that they're adding in some new stuff. I'm down for it. I'm gonna be so optimistic for this remake. There's no way they could fuck this up. There's no way they're gonna. Oh my god. Okay, wait. We gotta go back. We gotta go back. Oh, that's not back. Okay, wait. Okay. Oh, look at his face. Oh my god, dude, yes. Okay, this is exactly what I mean. Shulk is showing emotion in his face. Emotion that matches his voice, which, you know, I'm down if they recorded new lines with Shulk's voice actor. Man's a god, that man's a legend, but I think the takes in the original game were perfect. You can't do better than those takes. If you can do better with those takes, fucking go right ahead and try. You know, but this, oh my god, look at his face. Yep. Okay, oh, no. Okay. Right there. There's Ryan. Okay, Ryan looks kind of the same. Huh, I didn't freeze frame on this yet. He looks... I like it, because like the whole big-eyed anime style thing works with some character archetypes very well. Like Shulk's, I can understand. Fiora, Melia maybe Charlotte even, and Ricky. But like Ryan has like and Dunban too, have like sterner, more, I don't know, testosterone-filled male figures. So the fact that he, you know, kind of retains the same facial features that he did in the original is good. This is at the... That's weird, because this is... Maybe it's just the editing of the trailer, but this is at the very beginning of the game when Shulk wakes up, and they're in the field, and they get attacked by the crab thing, the metal crab thing, and he looks, it looks like a flashback though, and I know there are flashback scenes. I think there was maybe a flashback scene with Ryan. No, there wasn't. There wasn't a flashback scene like this. Maybe it's just the editing of the trailer. I might be just going crazy. Okay. We have Fiora there. Fiora, I love you, but I'm not going to talk about you right now. Okay, this is that scene with Ryan and Shulk when they first go on to Gower Plain and they see the Mechonis. They leave the cave. It's after they kill the giant spider lady thing. Lady, I like a lady. It's not really a lady. It's more just a giant fucking spider. Yeah. There's that was Fiora exiting the cave, or not, and showing up in front of the cave. I'm I'm shuffling through this a lot because I don't want to miss a thing. Yeah, Fiora showing up in front of the cave with the supplies that Ryan and Shulk left behind. You know, like right before Colony 9 gets attacked. That's pretty cool. So she looks good. Again, she looks really good. I like it. I like it. That's the Monado when Shulk sees it there. That's Metalface. Metalface looks the same. The exact fucking same. I like it because the Mechon designs were super cool. And I'm happy that they didn't change it at all. But you know. But yeah. And that's when he rips into Fiora and the death thing happens. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. I am. Oh my, yes. So okay, I'm gonna go to the last part of the trailer. I'm gonna finish up what I have to say. Okay, so this is new. I when I saw this, I was like, I don't remember this at all. This is brand fucking new. I don't remember any of this. This area. Shulk's outfit's different, which that confirms to me. Is it different? Yeah, it has to be different because he's like, those pants are too. Unless they changed the design of his outfit, I don't think we saw. Oh yeah, they tweeted about it. I'll check later. But yeah. I don't, that might confirm. I don't know if it does that you can, you know, your appearance changes still like it did in the original, because that was the thing that was missing from Xenoblade 2 that I was hoping they'd you know, maybe bring into this or bring back to this. But this area is brand new because like I haven't seen, that doesn't look anything like anything I've ever seen before in this game. I don't think we've ever seen this perspective, like this floating house thing. And I guess that's the Hyantia home there. I guess it is. It has to be. Yeah, this area looks completely new. I think this is brand new material. Maybe they're adding in new areas. Maybe they're adding in like expansions to the world. Maybe new side content. Additional story features. It could be anything, really. Could be anything. Could be anything. 2020. Oh. I don't know, solid date. Oh. Okay. So let's talk. Let's sit down and have a nice talk. So like I am very excited. I'm also nervous because I know what my thoughts and feelings were on Xenoblade 2. I was really harsh on the game, and you know, there were some points that I made that I like and that I think hold up. There were some that I think maybe I shouldn't have made those points, or either I should have talked about other things instead. But I am super optimistic for this. You can't fuck up that game. You can't fuck up Xenoblade 1. I'm not saying that they're going to, or oh my god, they shouldn't. They literally cannot. It is impossible for you to fuck up something so good that you got so right. And I'm just so excited to see what they can do. Now for the game itself, you know, I hope they retain and maybe just refine the combat system from the first game. I really do not want them to add in mechanics from Xenoblade 2's combat, because one of the things, I never really talked about it in my initial review, that I just did not like about Xenoblade 2's combat is it just felt really slow. Torna fixed that a little bit, like Torna sped things up a bit, but Xenoblade 2, you know, like it took so long to kill things. Even when you were doing blade driver combos, even when you were mashing up elements, even when you were doing the right thing, it took a long time to beat really basic enemies. And I didn't really like that aspect of Xenoblade 2's combat too much, as it felt like a lot of it was me sitting there just picking the same few commands over and over again, And some people really like the combat system. Some people love it. I'm cool on you if you do. But I just loved the simplicity of, I guess, of Xenoblade 2's combat, or Xenoblade 1's combat, sorry. Where it was focused on your positioning, so you really had to pay attention to that, and your combat experience, but your experience with the game's combat was really dependent on, you making sure that you have competent roles for your team. You could have Ryan in as just a regular tanking through hits, while you have Charlotte healing in the background and Shulk doing DPS and using stealth arts. You could have a speed a speed tank, like with Dunban in the party. Having him just draw all the aggro and having every attack miss him while he does shit tons of DPS, which was a really good way to do shit, by the way. You could just have this weird debuffer tank with Ricky who has like super high HP, or but I hope that they just refine it to make some characters more useful, because it did feel like I did kind of feel like, okay, why would I use Fiora and Melia? I love those characters, but like they just felt a little weak in comparison to the rest of the cast, who have these defined roles that are essential. Versus, I feel like I never really had a use or spot for Melia in my party, and Fiora was cool in concept of, you having this character, you could switch to different roles, but when you have the characters that can just kind of do all of her roles better, it didn't seem too cool. But yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of things, a lot of small things, big things, everything in between, that I would love to see them improve upon in Xenoblade Definitive Edition. To recap, yes, I will go back to talking about Xenoblade 2. Yes, I will go back to talking about other Xenoblade games, or Xeno games, I should say, sorry. Not just other, Xenoblade X included. And yes, I will talk more about Xenoblade Definitive Edition whenever we get more information about it. Maybe before we get more information about it. I don't know. You guys, it's the greatest JRPG ever coming back. They're yes. Yes.